For nearly 80 years, Lower Lights Community Church of the Nazarene has stood at the corners of Bellows and Cypress Avenues in Franklinton, a neighborhood on Columbus's near west side, as a lighthouse of hope and holiness. Nearly 25 years ago, the neighborhood had declined and we knew we had to do church differently. And so Lower Lights Community Church became a center for compassionate ministries. And over those 25 years, many lives have been transformed and changed because we've met people where they are. We've placed an emphasis on discipleship, and through that we've seen leaders develop and take ownership in ministry. Much of our neighborhood is still unreached for Christ. And in our neighborhood, there are limitations. People will walk 6 blocks to church, but not 8 blocks. So several years ago, we began to dream about what it might look like for Lower Lights Community Church of the Nazarene to go out into the neighborhood.
Well, our emphasis has always been on relationships and not so much the big show. Ever since I've been here, we have participated in what we call Neighborhood Bible Blast. Instead of doing a big VBS program here at the church, we would go to different areas within the neighborhood and hold a smaller, scaled-back version of the VBS. Well, we started with one site at Pastor Mike's house in his front yard with the help of Grove City Naz. Here this past year, we were able to do 2 different sites at 2 different locations in the neighborhood, kind of around the health center in order to start to reach that community. Each year, we've had upwards to 100 kids and their families participating. We always end each Neighborhood Bible Blast with a great big family barbecue at the church.
So we had the concept of taking the presence of Christ out into the neighborhood down, but what needed to solidify was our vision of becoming a multi-site church. A little over a year ago, Pastor Sam Barber, who was at Shepherd Church of the Nazarene, heard me speak of our desire to start a second site at Lower Lights Christian Health Center. Through that, he developed a passion to see a partnership form with Heaven Train. And through that partnership, we were able to develop relationships and establish trust with our neighbors surrounding Lower Lights Christian Health Center.
Last year in the spring, we got together and talked about the possibility of having Heaven Train at the Lower Lights Healthcare Center on Saturday mornings. It was a beautiful experience. At first, it took a while for people to come outside their doors and to build that relationship of trust. But one of the key factors that made a huge difference were every week, consistently, there were volunteers from Lower Lights Church who were right out on the front lines. And the numbers just grew and grew to where we had families coming out as well.
Through Heaven Train, we were able to build relationships with the children and become like a well-known presence in the community. At first, there were a couple kids showing up. By the end of the season, though, we had upwards to 25 kids and their parents attending. We knew that we couldn't meet the families, build relationships, and then leave, that we needed to have some kind of service to follow up with. So that led to the formation of our family service, which is on Sunday nights at the health center. We have around 50 people attending each Sunday night. For many of them, that is their church home. One of the most exciting parts about our family service is that it's almost completely led by our kids and teens. We have built a team of leaders with our older elementary school kids and our teenagers. They lead worship, they do drama, and they do some of the teaching. And they are very key in forming the relationships with the kids there at the family service.
God's doing amazing things through us at the health center at this point in time, but we don't believe that He's done yet. We know that we need to increase our presence and increase our ministry at the Broad Street campus.
In January, Mike and Sarah met with myself and a few of our volunteers, and they told us about their vision of having more meals both at the healthcare center, to the staff, and around the area around their churches. And since February 16th, over 3,000 meals have been given out to families. I am so grateful that Heaven Train has been able to partner together with Lower Lights Church. It has been a beautiful partnership of their desire to get further connected into their community and Heaven Train coming alongside. And one of the beautiful things has been, it's been truly strategic every single time Heaven Train is here, or the food trailer is here, or both are here, every single time Lower Lights Church has volunteers right on the front lines.
We know that that will be the foundation of an even greater church on Broad Street. We can't wait to see what God continues to do through Lower Lights Community Church of the Nazarene at Bellows and Cypress, at Broad Street, and wherever God may happen to move us next.